Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, today's Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Incredible news, wars, rumors of wars, oil markets pumping, gold is up. What's going on in the world? Incredible. Markets rebound after initial sell-off triggered by Middle East tensions. War in the Middle East. What about to know about the Strait of Hormuz? Oil's up. A key passageway essential for global energy supply has been shut down. Limited flights from UAE begin to government seek citizens from the Middle East. Oil prices leap on worries about Iran war while U.S. stocks erase sharp losses. Incredible news on geopolitics and socioeconomics. Do me a favor, give me a like and a share. I appreciate it. Just incredible news. We've seen Israel and the U.S. and Iran going to warfare, and then different military strikes happening all over the Middle East. Seems like it's things are heating up there beyond belief. So, this is what we have. You people tell me what you think. Leave some comments below. World War III is here. World War III has started. Incredible. So, incredible news, just kind of reading it. So, the topics we're going to talk about today, energy market shock, big to do. Governments are using energy markets to reset the system, could be. Major disruptions, like in Qatar, halting LNG output. Global instability that could shock markets for the coming weeks, so you have to be prepared. A lot of times, retail investors are buying what they think is the dip in the stock market, but you got to be careful. Could be a long-term downtrend. The Dow Jones, could drop, significantly to lead into huge layoffs and foreclosures. So now's the time to be looking at the stock market being potentially overbought. Institution versus retail. So institutions have already sold their positions to the public. Usually that happens. Stock, crypto, and precious metals. So, the diamond, holding diamond hands, you got to be willing to, take some profit. So, I made some huge trades here in the last couple of weeks, buying the dip in Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and then this morning took like just a 12,000 point profit out of Bitcoin alone in its pump. So I've been liquidating my bags of silver, not all of it, but taking nice profits and selling that on e-commerce. Do me a favor, give me a like and a share, and I'm building up a little bit of a cash position, so if we do have a stagflation, you never know, because with the energy shock, we saw the same thing back in the early 1970s with the oil embargoes and rising costs. Oil goes up. The Americans will grind to a halt as gas prices increase dramatically. We could see oil at $100, $150. The Straits of Hormuz and potential increased conflict cause absolute chaos. So now is the time to hunker down and to get your preps in order. So it's just an incredible process. Man, I don't run commercials, but I did recently pen an ebook that you can read for free. Check out the links below on AI data structures and algorithms. So check out the links below, AI data structures and algorithm course you can read for free on Amazon Kindle. Tell me what you think. Links below. So this is what's being reported, what people are reading about too. So I'm trying to cover all this too, and then I kind of put together a trading plan for myself. Again, oil $150 a barrel, the Straits of Hormuz, prolonged closure could spark like a 1970s energy shock, causing high inflation and shipping costs to increase significantly. Gold, silver, and oil to soar. Traditional stock markets could face a big down day due to uncertainty. And then, of course, AI and energy connection. A lot of energy is needed to run the artificial intelligence. So the different strikes in Iran and everything could be a race for AI supremacy. China's been making a lot of moves here in AI supremacy. So it could be the West is trying to gain a lot of energy to be able to run AI. It requires massive amounts of energy. And the U.S. targeting Iran and then recently Venezuela to cut off China's access to discount fuel. So China is able to, in the past, was able to get discounted cheap fuel from Venezuela and from Iran. So perhaps not anymore. Now the war with China, if it's possible, it could be a proxy war. The U.S. and the West goes to war with China and trying to control energy sources. So this is something we've got to be real careful about in military dominance. And of course, we have to be concerned about retaliation on U.S. soil. A recent shooting in Austin, Texas, a potential sign of terrorist retaliation related to attacks on Iran. Man, he expressing deep concern, about organized cells here in the U.S. Military experience may be unleashed within the U.S. and it's possible. So everybody, we got to tighten up, and get our houses in order type of thing. And also calling up 100,000 reservists here in the U.S. So that means boots on the ground. Is there going to be a ground invasion? Beach landings and send in paratroopers and then do an invasion of Iran? That could be a long war, like World War II, So incredible times here, and you have to be prepared for a potential stock market blow up, financial chaos. Price of crypto's pumped. I got all the pump in Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana. And I've been really bullish on Ethereum and Bitcoin. And it's good to own during times of social conflict and warfare. So protracted war, that's a possibility here. A wartime economy. And then, of course, AI and job losses. A lot of people are being displaced by the artificial intelligence and robotics will soon replace half the working population, leading to huge layoffs across Wall Street in all industries in the modern world. Universal basic income, UBI, is pending for people. So, the narrative is, you'll own nothing and you'll like it. So trying to survive and navigate through all this. So let me look real quick here on Yahoo Finance. All right. And then my goodness. It's just incredible news. Trying to look at this. All right. So stocks recover from a major sell-off as Wall Street watches Iran fallout. News on NVIDIA. NVIDIA is going to invest $4 billion in photonics makers. Shares surge. Apple debuts a $599 iPhone. News on Apple. Gas prices very quickly rising. It's real stuff here. Average tax refund is bigger. 70% of Gen Z would consider Chinese cars like BYD and Geely. Musk's AI to buy back $3 billion of debt early in run-up for the IPO IPO here. SoftBank, PayPal delays IPO roadshow launch. 4 ways. We got a lot of news here. Brazil to mobilize $50 billion in sustainable investment under Lula's current terms. So Brazil, the BRICS nations, U.S. gasoline crosses $3 per gallon. Test of Trump's Iran war. So, my goodness. Dollar rallies most since May. War spurs a rush into havens. Gas prices surge. So these are, a lot of the same news. AI in the classroom will replace rote memorization, so having to repeat things over and over again, AI will be able to do so in the classroom. My goodness. Turning Point is dips, and ELF, Beauty, and ADT. Most active stocks, NVIDIA, Nokia, Ford, and Plug Power. Is Plug oversold? So this is what we have. Now stay with me today. I'm running about 10 minutes, but give me a like and a share. Reporting here on Zero Hedge. Trump vows big wave yet to come as Pentagon boosts. U.S. took out nearly all of Iran's Navy. So monetary Olympics underway. What gets 7,000? Let's see here. Bond yields, black gold, and Bitcoin blast off amid Mideast maelstrom. So I got all huge trade in this last week. I put on Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana, and then took huge profits out of such today. I didn't sell my entire bags of Bitcoin, but I did one account. I pulled out like 12,000 points of profit that I DCA'd in the last week or so in Bitcoin and got a huge pump out of it. Bitcoin's trading wallets today as high as about 70,000. Incredible news. So let's look at let's take a look at this trading plan of mine for today. Running about 12 minutes. What we have is I'll DCA Bitcoin today, increasing my position. Took a nice 12,000 point profit, but I'm going to start increasing my allocation into Bitcoin. SPY ETF, the blockchain ETFs, I'll continue to purchase those on a DCA. ETHE, took a huge profit out of it. I'll DCA ETH today. And then FSOL, the Solana ETF, was up at one point today, like 10 or 11%, so I sold some of it to take a profit. Again, this isn't financial advice, it's just opinion only. So these are the things that are transpiring today, people. Tell me what you think. Just kind of reading the news here on Zero Hedge. U.S. vigilante, possible attack amid Iran war, says Hegseth. No, my goodness. Satellite images reveal after drone attack on Saudi Arabia's biggest refineries. So it's heating up. This thing could really, we got China, Russia, North Korea, the Crimea Peninsula with the Ukraine, and then Pakistan and India and Afghanistan, going to warfare with Afghanistan in another war with Taliban type of thing. So it's a lot to cover. We've got a lot going on in geopolitics. So I say this every day. I give thanks for my abundant supply now manifested. I have it now. So it's kind of, we're seeing a wartime economy now. Precious metals. Silver's off a bit, but gold is up. So that's what I have for today, about 14 minutes. Adding to my Bitcoin position on DCA, ETH, DCA. ETH is looking good. The last couple of weeks it had a huge pump. And now Bitcoin is at the bottom with the greatest negative weighted alpha. So that's my rationale for increasing my Bitcoin DCA amount. So that's what I have today, everyone. Have an awesome, great day. And, stay aware of what's going on. We got a lot of geopolitics stuff here. I'm a prepper. Are you guys a prepper? I am. Tell me what you think. Like and share. Thanks, everyone.